Hello, hello, hello. I'm the robot with feels, and we're back in Divinity Original Sin 2. We are playing as Fane, and well, there's blood everywhere. There's dead bodies next to us, and the ship's on fire. So, normal Tuesdays. Yep, so this was weapons that we grabbed at the end, once that happened. So we are now equipped with a knife and shield. Let's switch that out to a wand, because our character's technically a mage, although he's playing a summoner, so we're not going to do much fighting ourselves. Just to unclutter my inventory, I like to put a lot of the keys and books in here into the backpack. We can get ways to sort, more bags to sort everything else later, but for now that's just easiest. And also, I'm going to put a bucket on our head, because this will give us more armor. It will reduce our initiative, but because of the way initiative works in this game, it doesn't really matter. They kind of made it so that it effectively doesn't matter at all, because all it does is whichever one of your people has the highest initiative goes first. It completely ignores the initiative of the enemy, because it just goes one and then the other. So initiative is mostly a useless stat, and it'll give us more armor. So I was just looting that table for random stuff of value that I can sell later, because this is the perfect time to be doing that. We can grab this inkpot and quill, read these notes saying that the children are pretty happy on the boat, and however some of the people we met earlier aren't. Mainly the elf with the dice and the lone wolf, if you remember them from the last episode. Random notes about what there is for cargo, and more cargo. So let's go out. Before we head on up, let's see what all has happened out here, and maybe see if we can find anything useful out here.
The young woman lies in a heap on the floor. She's breathing normally, but her eyes are wide open, like those of a corpse. Dark, grayish-black clouds swirl through them.
Wake up!
She doesn't stir.
And as you can see, some people have been churned into just puddles of blood and bone, and some people are unconscious. I'm sure you can guess which ones are important to the story.
Oh! What? What happened? Must have been the turnips.
Throw some water on his face.
Water? Wine, for goodness sake!
The lizard's eyes close as he slips into unconsciousness.
It just so happens that all of the people that are unconscious are the people that we had a lot more conversations with earlier. I'm sure that's just a coincidence, though.
Ifan lies motionless, curled on the ground like an animal. Under his shaggy hair, you can see green eyes fluttering as if in a nightmare. A low whine escapes his lips.
Shake him and try to wake him up.
His eyes flicker open, but he doesn't register your presence at all.
Lucien. Lucien.
Ifan cries out, then his eyes fall closed again. No matter how much you shake him now, he cannot be roused.
And for those who don't know, Lucian is a type of leader of the Magisters, and, well, we'll find out more exactly later.
The dwarf lies in a heap on the floor, his great beard twisted and tangled around him. He is stock still. You can't see if he's living or dead.
Let's listen for a heartbeat.
You hear a faint thud, thud, thud. He's alive, but only just.
No, not the final dark. Not yet.
Let's grab her by the hand and tell her to get up.
Her hand lies limp in yours. She's too weak to stand.
The dice roll darkly. They're rolling for me.
And just in case you've forgotten from last time, we did lose our magical shape-shifting mask. It was stolen by the woman that blew up the ship. Anyways, that's all that's up here. Or I guess there's this lady who's also unconscious.
The Magister lies on the floor, unconscious and bleeding from a dire-looking wound.
Alright, let's head upstairs.
The hatch is blocked. I'll need to find another way.
Okay, not that way. Doggo! This is a sore sound though, so it can smell the special type of magic on me. And they have been trained to attack.
The hound paws desperately at its snout. It winces as it draws blood from its wet black nose and continues scratching.
Get out of here, the ship's gonna sink, Mr. Doggo.
The dog notices you for the first time and snarls, the hairs on its back prickling as it lowers itself into a lunge.
You sorcerer!
It sneezes suddenly and paws at its nose once more.
And we can talk to it because we have the add-on that gives us the Pet Pal talent for free. And we have that just because the Pet Pal talent doesn't make the game any easier or harder. It just makes it more fun with conversations like this.
Can't smell. Can't breathe. Too much sauce. Too much. Too much. Please make it stop.
Alright. Well, it wants us to make it stop, so I guess we should put it out of its misery.
The hound sees you reach for your weapon and growls, baring sharp, white teeth.
I guess that's not what it wanted. So I didn't really explain how fights work earlier in the last episode. This is the turn order. Later there'll be more people. And it goes every other from the initiating party to and then to the other party in your sides in terms of initiative. And if one side has more, then the rest of them will just be at the end all on their own. And you get 4 action points a turn. Any that you don't use will hold over up to a maximum of, you can have 6, and that's, so that'd be 2 plus the 4 for the turn. Moving costs action points, and the basic movement is you can move 5 meters. However, with this little line around us that does, around the dog, that does mean that we'll get hits as we attempt to leave. But I still feel like that would be for the best. So let's just keep on moving. And we'll summon our little guy and give him his buff. And any summons that you have will go after you. That's the one break to the turn order. Also, you may notice that there's armor, or there's 2 health bars, or on us, we in fact have 3. That the blue one is your magic armor, gray is your physical armor, and then red's just your health. And of course, if you run out of health, you die, but you want to be careful with your armor as well, because, of course, physical attacks hurt your physical armor, and magic hurts your magic. But what you really have to worry about is that any status effects, depending on whether they're physical or magical, if you don't have any armor, that's when they can start going into effect. So they can really just start messing you up and keeping you from doing anything. We ran out of armor there, so we're gonna use our shield to just kind of refresh it. But we are actually close to dying. I normally am fine on this fight, but our turret couldn't see it, so we might actually die. I think we're fine, but yeah, okay, we made it. So that bedroll, I'm not sure if you noticed, you grabbed it earlier. That lets us just heal back to full for free whenever we want. Or, of course, it has to be outside of combat.
God damn it! I need to get off this wreck. Quick.
Yeah, we'll do that. And in order to do that, the easiest way is to, not pick up the water barrel with the different effects on it. If you throw the water barrel into fire, no more fire. However, through here on the other side of the store,
That doesn't bode well.
there are some
Onwards and
people.
upwards.
So I'm not sure if there's an easier way you're supposed to get through this store rather than breaking it down. And I walk through the store over here. No. So I kind of think you're supposed to just hit it down. So let's use our summon for it, so that it doesn't break our tools, which can happen if you just smack them against stuff too much. Otherwise, your weapons won't really break in this game. So just do it. Keep on attacking, mister. There. In a matter of seconds, he broke that with a solid wooden door. That's something you have to be careful. As you can see, I had the guy's attack selected and then I tried switching my character. He did decide to just stab my character in the back, so you gotta be careful of that sometimes.
Thank the gods. By divine grace, who was that howling?
He eyes the collar circling your neck and reaches a hand towards his blade.
Another sorcerer!
I can help you if you get this stupid device off of me.
Even if I knew how to rip that thing off, I wouldn't. Some crazy banshee comes screaming through, and now we got void bugs swarming up top. Saw it coming, I did. Sorcerer mutiny.
Let's try to ask, is he sure that she's a sorcerer?
Curdled my blood when she appeared. Ship shook like a typhoon had struck, and then she was gone again. Look around. You see how that story ends. Nothing but Source can do this.
Let's use our intelligence to try to persuade him that there is no mutiny, and we almost died in this woman's hands. We succeed.
Go on then. Find a place to hide and stay there.
So we don't have to fight that guy after all. Instead, he's just going to be perfectly fine as we loot through all of their possessions back here. It's pretty nice of him. Let's see, we have a journal that we can't read any of, that I'm looting just for the sake of looting. Oops. Actually, Bentley, so we put it to auto sell. Again, letter we can't really read. And my sweet Stefan, as I write this letter, we near the isle. By the time the owl delivers it, it will be but a day away. I've heeded Alexander's orders, just as you said I should. But I think of Lucian often. Would the divine have condoned this? Would he have blessed us as we ripped children away from their mothers? Can this be the only way? I feel cold, inside and out. Of one thing I am certain, your arms will warm me when I find you again. With love, Rix. So they're obviously doing some terrible things here. As the Magisters ripping kids away from their mother. There's all in the cure, all for the cure and in the name of helping people. Let's organize our inventory a little bit more and keep on going. We did get a magic staff, but I'm going to try to keep the wand and shield. Or I could switch to the staff. I'm not quite sure. Oh, look, more dead pot. These for us to loot because we're just such a good person. I don't know why they're scared of skeletons and sorcerers. We're all just such kind, caring people.
Something's pounding on the hull.
Yeah, look, let's put out a fire. See, look how good we are. Murtoff, death fog barrels have been locked down in storage. Stay out, you and Rix both. If anyone starts fooling around down there, it'll be lights out. Death fog, in this universe, is exactly what it sounds like. It is fog that instantly kills you. Luckily, if you remember from character creation, we are immune to death fog.
The marking on the door was painted recently, judging from its pungent scent. You recognize the symbol immediately for what it is. A warning of death fog. You press your palm against the door to open it. Your fingers clack against the wood, and you suddenly feel grey. The touch leaves you numb, dull. It doesn't budge. The door groans open, but an ashen shadow clouds your mind.
Death fog? Good thing I'm immune. Still, this brings some trouble.
So yeah, we can go in here, and this is instant death, as its description says. So, you know, very fair and fun.
More.
Back in a fight. We come up here, that guy instantly gets smacked when they come at us. Took me a second to kind of get my head in the game. Oh, I would have preferred to summon that blood if I noticed it. Oh well. But it's important to always summon people in substances if you can, because it makes them stronger. Very important rule, summoning. Also, big point, just trying to get the specific things that you want. For a lot of this playthrough, I'm playing a very physical, focused team build, so I'm going to be trying to put it in him in blood for the extra damage. Oh, that's annoying, I accidentally just deleted the skill for my hotbar. Let's put it back. But yeah, this elemental totem setup is actually pretty good as a skill, because although it gets rid of our ability to choose who we target, they last for 3 turns, and they do as much as our basic attacks would. So it's effectively like we are getting triple the damage just over a little period of time. Explosions, just walk through them. Cool guys don't care about explosions, especially when we have bedrolls to just instantly heal. Oh, I'm rested. I can't rest again. Huh. That never happened. I didn't do that. Let's go through this fight again, I guess. Smash. Charge. Murder. Let's summon him in the blood this time. And then I guess we'll still summon this in poison. It's not like we have another option. Has Mosquito Swarm, which is an attack I really like. With the blood infusion. And far later in this playthrough, once our guy's kind of all maxed out on his summoning, I am eventually going to turn him into a little bit of a necromancer as well. But that's far in the future. Mainly he's going to be just putting on a lot of summons on hit this time. Oh, our guy died. That's definitely not good. I can't believe they've done this to us. And his cooldown's too long. We can't summon him back. That's something you really want to avoid. Not the best. You can still just basic attack him. And I wasn't thinking about that, but I wasn't thinking about poison being flammable. So I guess that's what set off the explosion. I'm gonna have to remember that. So we're gonna head up here. Oh wow, an explosion. How completely unforeseen. Who could have expected that? Look at those dummies who died in the explosion. I wouldn't be silly enough to do that, especially if you just like stood in the fire. Yeah, wouldn't be me. But there's water barrels here, so we can just move them up to put out the fire. You'd think that the rain would do that partly, but the game disagrees. So we'll put one there. And we'll see about putting another one. Okay, let's move it up bit by bit. Yeah, that's how throws work, sure. Alright, that puts out all the fire, so we can finally search the sky. Oh wow, there was a whole nothing. I guess we got a wand that's as good as our current one and a single scroll. Couple bucks. Anyway, let's get to the lifeboat.
A lifeboat? That means there's still a chance.
Go on, kid. Climb up there and get to the boat.
You do.
Shut your trap, kid. Children and dwarfs first, just like the old stories say.
The dwarf yanks at one of the nearby ropes to no avail.
You said there were other people down there. We need to help them.
You see those tentacles, kid? It's time to get the hell out of here.
One of the funny things that you can do in this situation is you can choose to just say yes and release it. In which case, all of the unconscious people down there are just dead, and you don't get any allies, as far as I'm aware, for it. At least from what I've heard. I've never actually tried it myself, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Anyways, I'll say, I'll go back and look for survivors.
That's you. There's a ladder right over there. You can go straight down.
You're gonna be the death of us, you hear?
So now that passageway that was blocked to us before, we can just go down here. The blood's still here from when I ate that guy's leg.
If you can walk, get yourself up the ladder. There's a... Wait. Void woken.
Annoying people. I guess the closest source of blood is over here. Oh, that's annoying. It didn't actually summon it in the blood, as far as the game cares. So I guess I'll summon this. But as you can see, this is what a real, like, much bigger battle is like. In fact, there generally won't even be this many.
Useless bugs would sink the ship on my watch.
And, I mean, in some cases there'll be more because if other AI groups are in it. But normally there won't be this many on your side or theirs.
I thought void woken was supposed to be scary. Let the games begin.
Glory is mine.
I've faced worse.
So yeah, they just completely wiped the floor with everyone. We don't need to do anything else. Let's loot these guys though. Found some meaty giblets. I don't see anything that could possibly go wrong by eating these guys. But hey, I'm not gonna risk it. I'm just gonna sell it to other people later on. That's their problem.
I hear something. It's...
We need to wait.
I forgot to go talk to the person who was unconscious earlier, the Magister. But anyways, we didn't make it to the lifeboat. So, good game guys. That's it. That's the whole game. Have a wonderful day, and that is it.
plans for you, child. Rise.
Honorable Dallas, we lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead. Yours faithfully into eternity, High Judge Oriven.
So yeah, we heard the voice of God and we live. Isn't that exciting for us?
Am I the lone survivor?
No, even our friend leaves us.
The child has a small mirror in his hands. He holds it up at angles, inspecting his eyes, his chin, the crown of his head. He spots you, and his arms snap to his sides.
We found a child, at least.
I'm not supposed to talk to strangers.
Let's use our guy's things. Many people are strange, but can you truly say one is stranger than another?
The child considers your statement.
You're weird.
Fair.
Are you a sorcerer? One of those guys that brings the bad void things here?
Yes, I am. Judging by the collar around your neck, so are you.
The child looks at you straight on, unafraid, searching the shadows cloaking your face. He lifts his mirror to his nose, closes one eye, and looks at himself again.
I don't see any source on you or me. I guess they're wrong. Or crazy.
I think they're both wrong and crazy.
Maybe you're right. At least they don't mind where anyone goes. They know we can't leave the island, and it's a lot nicer out here than inside.
Do your parents know where you are?
They're gone now. The Magisters took them already. I guess now they're cured. And maybe they're waiting for me back at home.
It's not safe to be out here. Our ship was attacked by Voidwoken not far off the shore.
But you didn't die.
Why don't you seem scared?
I guess I am, but it's just normal to be scared. Nowhere isn't scary.
We barely survived the Voidwoken attack. We really should find somewhere safer to go.
There isn't anywhere safer. That's what I mean. You'll see.
Well, that's ominous.
Ah, Brancus Rex. I've read his history. Quite gruesome, even for a human.
So this kind of evil-looking statue is Brancus Rex. We will definitely be finding out more of him in the future. As I have played this game, I've only made it to kind of the second map, I guess we'll call it. So I haven't made it too far, but I do have some experience in the game.
Voidwoken. Those are the same beasts that sank our ship. Damn, they made it to shore.
Well, they can talk. That's disturbing. Let's ignore the one standing right there punching us and just keep on summoning stuff over here. Or I guess looking at it, your summons go immediately after you, but then they get their own space in the initiative order afterwards. Let's use Mosquito Swarm on him. Just summon another totem right there. Buff our dude. Still, we technically haven't sent out a single attack ourselves. And play dead. It's the ability that undead have where no enemies will target you except and all of your cooldowns stop. So it's great for summoners because you can, once you have everything out, if you feel you can win, you can just do that and no one will attack you.
Drowned and eaten by a void broken. I wonder in which order.
That's rather morbid.
Look here, Quercus. Another giant. My word, this blasted isle is teeming with them.
And here we see a talking squirrel with a bone helmet riding a skeleton cat.
What's that? Yes, I did see how it made short work of the great acorn servants. Quite right, very impressive. But that is no reason to trust it. Giants like that destroyed our forests. They are the very reason the great acorn is returning in all its wrath. What? Dear me, have you taken leave of all 6 of your senses? You would have me use this giant for a shield? Why would I... Oh, I see. You cunning devil, Quercus. Of course, if it defeated the great acorn's vile servants, it can do so again. We need only follow in its big, wide shadow and be safe.
I don't think he understands I'm here. But why are you accusing me of destroying your forest? I'm Thane. I've been imprisoned for hundreds of years. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Egads! It speaks our tongue, Quercus. Hush before... What do you mean a good time for introductions? You know full well who I am, you silly old cat. The great Salora, grandest of the... Oh, introduce myself to the giant. I shall do no such thing. You give away your trust too easily, my dear steed. No, we will have the giant march. In time, we'll see whether it deserves our confidence. Now, onwards! Shield! Venture forth, post-haste. The great acorn waits for no one.
Oh, look. It's the red lizard again.
You spot a strange lizard gazing over the water with a steady, malcontent stare. His skin is of a bright, blood-red color. Could he be... Yes, you recognize him from the ship. It would seem you're not the only one who survived the tentacles of the deep.
Your slave, reporting for duty. Just to mess with him. And it's funny.
The lizard turns about with the graceful ease of a dancer. Or a duelist. You lock eyes with his, 2 smouldering embers that sizzle your very soul.
And a dutiful servant you are too. The chances are I wouldn't have survived that shipwreck had you not returned to the aid of your master down that dreadful hole. You have my gratitude.
That's part of the reason why I'm thinking that if you choose not to help, why they don't survive. Because everyone says something about the fact how you went down there and saved them. So maybe they just ignore that part if you didn't save them.
Hand over heart, he salutes you with a bob of the head. More than a nod, though less than a bow.
I'm happy to help. I don't stand idly by when people are in danger.
Yes, I'm sure you've all the makings of a hero and all that, but let's not get carried away, shall we? Nevertheless, one good turn does deserve another, so as far as the whole slave business is concerned, let's just forget about it. You may as well have your freedom. Now then, if there's nothing further...
What are you standing on that rock for?
I'm sure I don't mean to sound condescending, but I had thought it quite self-evident I was gazing out over the waves.
He sighs dramatically.
Tell me, what do you see when you cast your glance over this ocean?
As of last night, I see a kraken-infested wasteland I never want to go near again.
Touché.
He looks out over the water once more, and so do you. A few tranquil moments pass as the waves lap against your thoughts.
As for myself, when I consider this vast expanse before us, I see an empire. I see continents dotted with mighty cities. And shimmering along the soft curve of the sea's horizon, I picture the palaces that formed my paradise. Lost.
What do you mean when you say lost, exactly?
What do you mean, what do I mean? I mean just what I say. I had a very actual empire that I lost.
I guess that explains why you're called the Red Prince.
Suddenly, having all the air of being deeply offended, he stares at you with utter incredulity.
Well, don't just stand there gawking like an ape at an abacus. Or do you really mean to tell me you don't know who I am?
And this part's actually fun because our guy is a scholar, so we do know. But if we don't have the scholar, you don't have any option to say you do know who he is. But of course, since he's a red lizard, that means that the only red lizard out there is the notorious Red Prince.
The very same. I am the Red Prince, the all-conqueror, the world-tamer, the spouse of the sun. Of course you know me.
There's a brief moment's pause, during which his grandiloquent pose deflates ever so slightly.
That said, I suppose I must own up to the fact that I find myself rather in between all-conquering and world-taming opportunities at the moment. The grandeur that is my fate has hit a bit of a snag. But never you worry. For the throne I was destined, and my throne I shall have.
You're welcome to travel with me. Maybe we can even help you win your throne back.
Truly. A kind offer indeed. And you've already proven to be trustworthy enough. You came back for the others on that ship, after all. Fine, I accept. On one condition. For reasons I'll not disclose right now, it is imperative that I should meet with a dreamer, one of the mystics of my kind. I've reason to believe one of them may be present on this island. Promise me we'll look for him, and I'll extend you the blessing of my company.
I promise.
Jolly good.
Oh, before you go, you should probably know I'm an undead.
Oh my word, how you do astound me. Come now, did you really think a handful of linen towels can fool me?
Because remember, technically, we're wearing a bucket on our head. We just turned it off because that would look dumb.
But don't worry. I have studied the arcane arts for years, including necromancy and demonology. I do not hold the petty prejudices of common folks. In fact, I prefer the exceptional in all things. Your secret is safe with me. So, now that that's settled, first things first. Even if you are as versed in the art of eloquence as I am, that our swords will be doing a lot of the talking from here on out goes without saying. As a born fighter, I prefer the perfection of the blade myself. But I'm well acquainted with the secrets of magic, and yes, even subterfuge. What say you?
So this is fun because although they do have an idea of what every person should be in terms of their class, which is just their starting skills, any person can become whatever you want, as long as you're willing to invest into it. In fact, you can even respect people. You'll just have to get them to learn the skills. But it does let you pick for anyone what you want them to be. But yes, a fighter sounds perfect. We're gonna need a tank.
Very well. Onwards then to victory or death.
And just magically when we say that, he gets a sword and a shield.
The Red Prince nods and gives you a smile that wavers ever so delicately between courtesy and contempt.
Nice.
Now, as you're aware, you'll be traveling with a prince. Proper forms of address include Your Majesty, Your Royal Highness, or if you're feeling particularly frivolous, Milord. As your luck would have it, I seem to be fresh out of luggage, so you won't be required to carry my belongings.
Thanks.
Of course, there are other forms of protocol to bear in mind, but I'll see to it you'll pick up the rest as we go. So, without further ado, let us be off.
So we now have the Red Prince following us. We can have up to 4 people in our party, so we will have to leave some behind.
Ah, hello, small, furry creature. How do you do?
And now we have the black
It seems
cat.
we are not the only ones taking on strain.
The cat's eyes are clouded and grey, but it stares at you with acute intensity.
What
How did I get... Hey, stop following me.
What are you talking about? You approached me.
What? No, that can't be. I can't... Hey, stop following me.
Are you feeling okay?
Huh? Yeah, fine. I'm fine. I'm not sure. It's all a little foggy.
Where did you come from?
The cat opens his mouth as if to speak, but his eyes lose focus, and with a jerk he turns away from you.
Okay then.
Where should I put this one? Hey, mister. It's a lot nicer here than that stinking boat, huh? I'm sure glad you went back to save the others. Saw one of them wringing out their tunic at the shore a few hours ago. Say hi for me.
I'm not sure whether you're talking about the Red Prince or a different person. I don't think you ever actually find out. If you didn't get a better roll on the ship, you can always grab one from here. It's very useful. But right now we're just running around exploring.
Here lies a nameless inmate. May he find the peace denied him in life in the Hall of Echoes.
Hall of Echoes is quite obviously just heaven in this world.
What's this? I found something. I need a shovel.
Normally we need a shovel, but since we have the Red Prince, lizard folk, all lizard folk,
Put in due effort
can just dig.
if one is to reap the proper reward.
Just like how skeletons get free lockpicks. So we did get some armor that we can put on the Red Prince, switch it out a little bit to have him more suited. But our inventory is getting a little messy. It'll be nice to be able to do some shopping and mostly sell all of this off. There is a secret passage in here, but we'll get to that later. Not really gonna worry about it right now. In here by the red tree, on the other side, there is a chest. And mostly, at least for now, we'll come out here, and especially into that secret area later to do some stuff. But let's see what's up here.
Stay back, sorcerer, and stay silent. Our Godwoken speaks.
Godwoken is Lucian, because they believe he is Godwoken. Whatever that means. The crazy lady that blew up the ship was talking about killing them as well, so who knows? That's also Lucian, as in the guy that the lone wolf wanted to kill.
We know you've been helping sorcerers escape, Atusa. We have proof.
I'd sooner cut my tongue out than lie to you, Alexander. I know nothing of any escapees.
If you can tell the Godwoken no more, your tongue is of no use. Cut it out.
This can't be serious, Alexander. Come!
You should know by now to obey your superior, Magister, whatever she may ask.
Well, if they wanted to keep their... And of course we're saying this quietly, but if they wanted to keep a lot of people in check at once, this would be a good way of doing it.
Atusa pinches the tip of her tongue with 2 fingers and brings her dagger to its root. Her eyes squeeze shut. Drops of blood form against the dagger's edge and quickly fall to the ground. She groans.
She just cut off her own tongue to keep herself from telling people under torture. That is pleasant. Nice.
Stop! My father, may his soul rest in peace, would be disappointed in you, Atusa. To think you would lie to his only son.
He's so dramatic in his animations, it's so funny.
These many years. The fate of our realm hangs in the balance. If you will not help us save it, then you will help the Void destroy it. Dallas?
Yes, Your Holiness?
I believe we're done here.
Then she uses super magic wand, unlike anything else we've seen, and turns her into a pile of meat. You know, as you do. But here, we can... So that's in place to keep you from messing with it at all. We accidentally triggered it, though. Yeah, let's talk to the Red Prince about it.
The Lizard Magister, or what's left of her, lies in a puddle of gore.
Well, that was certainly a messy display of dominance.
She was a lizard, yet a magister. No matter her reasons, her penalty was fair.
Ah, I have her leg. Mine now. Oh well, at any point, I think that's good for today. Or I guess we can level up quickly. So for leveling up, we're just going to put his points into intelligence, summoning, and more thievery skills. For him, we're going to do more just basic stuff, giving him strength. We're going to give him warfare, because even though we're planning on having him always use one-handed weapons, it is good to put it in warfare compared to single-handed, because the bonus is better, and you'll also, it's technically better, although it looks like the same just because of how the math works, and it'll unlock more skills for him. We're also going to increase his... Oh... Let's do persuasion for now. If it turns out we should be putting into something else later, we'll put it in something else. But yes, that will be it for today now. Have a wonderful day, guys, and play video games. And remember, as I like saying at the end of this, because I found it funny the first time I randomly said it, don't let anyone tell you this. You're stupid, and if they do, punch them in the face.